Number 7 was Resident Evil Afterlife, and it's one of these ones that came along in this 3D wave that we had this summer of movies that didn't necessarily have to be in 3D, but it's like movies that were made and then they decided, hey, let's put 3D on top of it.
Donkey Punch Central Awards in 3D.
Yeah,
we're gonna start charging.
Whoa. Whoa. That's a throwback actually to SCTV in the 80s, but
it's
John
gonna come.
Candy, rest in peace.
When you don't expect it, it's just gonna happen. It's gonna be like, wow, got you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just gave somebody a heart attack.
Myself.
So there you go. So Resident Evil Afterlife, like I say, one of these ones that really didn't need to be done in 3D. I mean, we didn't watch it in 3D because our theater's cheap. Our theater doesn't have 3D.
We don't get 3D movies.
But even if it was, I wouldn't have paid the extra money to go see this movie in 3D. Because 3D really wouldn't have saved it. How far, and this is a direct question to the production team behind this, how far exactly do you plan on deviating from Resident Evil in your Resident Evil movies? I'm just curious. You know, outside of a couple of scenes that looked kind of good, basically this movie was like Day of the Dead. I mean, it's like Day of the Dead 15-20 years later. They wind up on top of a building and there's zombies all around the building. Who hasn't seen that before? You know, you had all of the Resident Evil characters. You had Chris, and you had Alice, and you had... What's the other one's name?
Oh, I can't remember.
Claire. And, you know, other random ping-pong characters. You have a couple of truly horrid, uninspired, tacked-on action scenes with a helicopter. They're just there. Well, no, it's not. Oh, it's not a helicopter, but it's whatever, a biplane or whatever. It's just one of these little passenger planes. They're there for absolutely no reason, other than to fucking fill up 10 minutes. This is like, we can't have this movie be 40 minutes. We gotta tack some shit on here. And outside of like the one fight scene with the thing that looks like Pyramid Head from Silent Hill, aside from that.
Yeah, when that thing walks up to the building, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely, because the zombies like clear a path for it.
Yeah,
and it just kind of stalks the building, and that looked cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, aside from that, you have a horribly generic zombie movie, and it's not at all really keeping in tune with the Resident Evil universe. I mean, there's a couple of sort of like off-the-cuff mentions of the Umbrella Corporation, and after that, it's just nothing. Like they're not mentioned again. And then they go to a boat, and the movie ends, and they're on a boat, like T-Pain.
They're on a boat.
They're on a boat, and a bunch of helicopters are coming at them, and that's the end of the movie.
Yep.
And we're just kind of left
sitting there thinking, does this mean we have to watch the next one? Yeah, but we're part of the problem because we'll probably watch it for something. Yeah. Unless it's like a good week for movies. Like, there's like 3 other movies to watch.
So I tell you what, bring out Inception 2, The Dark Knight Returns, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back Even Harder. Give us a third option in there, and we won't.
Yeah, we won't go see it.
Have to watch another Resident Evil movie. Yeah, so like I say, it's another one of those movies that's just kind of there, and outside of a couple of scenes, there's really nothing in it worth mentioning. So, number 7 is Resident Evil.
Number 7. Yeah, it's a pretty shitty movie.
The Lord by my side.
Lord by his side. Alright.
Go ahead.
My number 6 is The Bounty Hunter.
Oh, yes. This hurts me a little bit too because I'll watch Gerard Butler make breakfast.
Yeah, he will, but I won't.
I have a bit of a man crush on the dude. I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't hurt me too much. So go ahead.
It's like one of those movies where it's set up for failure anyway. So like when making lists, I hate being that guy that's just picking all the movies that you would expect.
Yeah.
But this is one of them.
Yeah.
Like this, you can't avoid it. I mean, some people, I don't know. Some people will watch it and like it, but
if that kind of weird situational rom-com is your bag, well, first of all, you're probably not watching our video because you know that it's not ours. But I mean, you're gonna like it if that's your kind of movie.
There's people. There's like different movie goers in the world.
Oh God,
it's just like me and him try to look at movies more critically. Like we want to love every movie, but we just can't.
We understand that's not going to happen.
And it's not even that we don't like rom-coms. I like rom-coms.
Yeah, you'll see later when we do our list. There's probably a couple on.
I seeked out The Bounty Hunter hoping it would be good because Jennifer Aniston's kind of cool and Gerard Butler's all right. They just didn't have any chemistry in this movie. It was pretty unfunny. There was nothing. It felt a lot longer than it was, which is the worst thing a movie can do.
Yeah.
When you feel like you're watching
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
After an hour.
But and here's the thing. I felt this movie was so long, and I've watched a movie that was 7 or 8 hours long.
Yeah.
All right, and I loved it, by the way. But like, yeah.
When you're just sitting there thinking, Christ, when is this going to end? It
just keeps going.
It's
not even that long, but it just feels like it keeps going. And when you got a rom-com, you got to have some chemistry.
Yeah.
They don't have chemistry.
I'll go on record with two things. First of all, I haven't liked a thing that Jennifer Aniston has done since Friends wrapped.
I might have liked a thing or two.
And like the only movie that I've really liked her in was Office Space, and that was still while Friends was in its run.
That was a long time ago.
So honestly, I really haven't liked that. So that's one thing. I haven't liked the thing that she's done since Friends. The second thing is, it looks like her and Adam Sandler have more chemistry in this movie that's coming up. Just go with it.
Yeah.
It looks like they have more chemistry than her and Gerard Butler had, which spells very bad things for Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter was just...
I still haven't taken the plunge to watch it, and now that our awards are basically over, I probably never will.
There's no reason to.
There's no reason to anymore.
I watched movies that I wouldn't normally watch just to try to get some kind of variety.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
The next one on my list, by the way, is one that's exactly that scenario.
Alright, well, I'm done talking about that.
Okay, well then I'll move on to the one that I just started talking about. Charlie St. Cloud. And this is going to get me all kinds of hate from the internet because...
You're going to get lynched.
People love Zac Efron.
By teen girls. By Harmony.
By Harmony. Sorry. People love Zac Efron, and I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. I know he was in High School Musical. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't get this dude's appeal. Well, I do. He's pretty. Let's put it that. Like, he's, I look in his eyes and just... Anyways, I as an actor, I don't get Zac Efron's appeal. And he most certainly did not save this movie. It was one of these movies that, like, it tries very, very hard to sucker you in with this sad storyline, and it is kind of sad. Dude lost his little brother, and then he goes and plays catch with his dead little brother. So I mean, it really tries to get you on the sentimental thing, and then it just sort of tries to tack on a love story out of nowhere, and just. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't get the fucking appeal of Zac Efron. He can't act his way out of a fucking paper bag. I would have preferred to see like Shia LaBeouf in that role, and I don't think Shia LaBeouf is much of an actor either. But I mean, to say that I would rather see him, I'd rather see Hayden Christensen. I not necessarily in that role, just in general. I don't get Zac Efron's appeal at all. We're losing so many viewers. I've alienated black people. I've alienated teenage girls.
But we haven't alienated angry Mexicans.
That's true. Matter of fact, we've endorsed you.
We have endorsed angry Mexicans. We are now safe to walk in Mexico.
That's true. It's too bad Mexico's like 10,000 miles away. Damn. But